Mellow, a book about a little girl following her dreams. One day a loud noise came from the castle. They were celebrating the birth of a little baby. "She is perfect," said the king. "One day Mellow will rule the kingdom," said the queen. Everyone in the kingdom was invited. The fairy godmother gave her a bracelet with no charms. Then she whispered, "This bracelet is magic. It will have a charm of what you love and what you want to be. Be careful," she said. Then a charm popped on it. It was a pig. Her parents were confused. She would not take care of a pig. She would rule the kingdom. The king and queen had to do something. The king and queen were right. They would have to do something. Every year she would get older, and when she learned to walk every day, she would sneak off to the pigsty. It only had a couple of pigs. She would feed and play with them. The most surprising thing was that pigs would always buck people off, but not her. The king and queen decided to start teaching her to be a princess and rule the kingdom. They would start next week. The king and queen hoped it would work well. The king and queen were ready. The week had gone by so fast. But when they went to go find her, she didn't want to go. She just wanted them to get her a fairy costume. They made a deal that if she came, they would get her the fairy costume. So they head off to the castle. Mellow was carrying her costume. Mellow changed into her fairy costume. She was ready and came out. They tried to teach her to sip tea and stick out her pinky and be careful while doing it, but she didn't stick out her pinky or be careful while she drank. Next, they tried to teach her to gracefully ride on a pony, but she just charged on a big fat pig. The only thing she learned how to do was knit, but she knitted little sweaters for the pigs and piglets. That afternoon, Mellow was in her fairy tent coloring a picture of a rose. Then her fairy godmother appeared. "Why are you doing all these weird things?" asked Mellow. "They want you to rule the kingdom when you grow up," she said. "But you do not have to do what they want you to do. Follow your dreams. That's why you have your bracelet." Mellow looked down at her bracelet. It still had the pig, but now it had a mushroom with a leaf. "That one is for adventure," said the fairy godmother, and she left. The king and queen were angry. They would have to try even harder, but they couldn't think of anything. Finally, they thought of something. The king and queen went and got a beautiful shiny tiara. They put it on Mellow's head. "You have to keep it for a week and keep it clean," said the queen. "Hey," said Mellow, "it ruins my costume. I'm supposed to be a fairy, not a princess. Plus, it itches," said Mellow, and she threw it out the window and it landed in a pile of mud. The queen was furious. The next day, the king got Mellow for it, but Mellow refused. "I get to choose my path, and I don't want to rule the kingdom one day. I want to live in a cozy fairy cottage and take care of pigs and piglets," she said. As she got older, she used her allowance, which was big, to buy more pigs and piglets. She fed and cared for them, and one day she said goodbye to the castle and went to the woods and built a cozy little cottage for her and her pigs. She loved it there. There was fairy dust in the air. It was home. They lived happily ever after. The